Hey everybody, this is Sherry Joy Collier coming to you from my art studio, and I'm going to do an intuitive background. Just paint colors that capture my interest on this canvas. This canvas here, I bought this, I didn't, a friend of mine bought this painting. It was a painting at a thrift store for me, and it was like 50 cents. So you can kind of see underneath the white, there's the remainder of the painting that was on there. But this is just a white, one thin white coat of acrylic paint. And now I'm gonna put a background on that's colorful and abstract and fun. And I'm not really giving much thought to it other than just picking out colors that I think will go well together and colors that I like, that I'm just drawn to tonight. So let's get started and see where this takes me. And we'll start with the paint. So while I'm getting some paint on here, I just use a plate. It's just easy styrofoam plate. I've got a couple of different sizes of brushes to choose from. I've got all these paints which aren't showing up necessarily on the camera screen, but I'm gonna start, I think I'm gonna start with Indian turquoise. Indian turquoise, oh, I love turquoise. I don't know, I just have always loved the color turquoise. I think it's because it reminds me of the sky, and it reminds me of the beach, which of course I love the beach. And yeah, it's just a beautiful color that shows up in nature. And one of the benefits of doing something just super relaxed and fun like this, now I can go back over this background later and paint an actual thought out painting on it if I want. But if I end up liking what I painted, I'll just keep it. Okay, let's get a few more colors on here. I want to get some green. So this is Kelly green. And I'm using the less expensive paints on this because it's just a background. I do have the thicker paints that I like to use when I'm really kind of planning out my painting. I'm going to put some, this is called Hauser green. I'm going to put a little Hauser green on my palette, I think. Maybe not. Nope, that's pretty much gone. So we will not be doing that. What else do I want to put on here? I think I might put a little bit of saffron yellow. Oh no, that's not open yet. Let's not do that. This one. This is a pretty coral reef. Coral reef color. So I'll put some of that on there. And I'm gonna put some of this this lime green, and I do want a yellow on my plate here too. Do I have a yellow? Well, I do. I have something called Yellow Flame. Yeah, let's use the Yellow Flame. Oh wait, here's another one. Which one is this? Mustard yellow. We'll go with the Yellow Flame. So I'll show you my palette here in a minute. Let's see. There we go. Okay, I don't want to tip it too much. Let's start with the big brush. So I'm just gonna try to swing around here, get closer to my canvas. I'm gonna start with this, this darker green. And I'm just gonna kind of paint in different sections, going in different directions, and just letting the brush strokes kind of show up. And we'll just see. In fact, there's kind of a trick that I've always wanted to try on these. That's to take my little water bottle and kind of squirt the top up there and let it run. See the little drips dripping down? That's just kind of fun. So I'm gonna put some over here, and I'm just really kind of going in different sections and not really worrying about anything. Although my brain is kind of constantly thinking about composition. So kind of making an interesting composition would be not putting a splotch right in the middle, like a big old target. Okay, let's see. I think for the green, I might come up and do just a little stripe up here. And maybe even do the top of this here. And I'm just gonna kind of get the excess off my brush so that I don't even have to rinse it. And then let's go into this darker turquoise color. And let's just put some of that on here. Okay, and then down here, let's put a little bit of that in. Let's come up here and put a little blotch over here and let it kind of bleed into the green. And let's put some over here. Boy, those drips of water really left a mark. So I'm just going to kind of connect these a little bit. There, they're kind of connected. All right, let's come into our lighter blue. All right, we'll get some of our light blue down here. Kind of let some of that creep up into the other blue a little bit. And let's put some light blue right here. All right, more light blue. Just gonna go straight up and down right here and over. Let it kind of cover some of that. Letting that kind of mix in with that wet green. Letting that bleed over. Let's see. Do I want any more blue? I think I kind of do. I kind of want to put some in here. Connect those two areas. And then let's bring in this different color now. Actually, I'm gonna kind of get my brush cleaned off on the canvas. And I will go into my water and rinse my brush this time because I'm about to go into the yellow. And I don't want, actually I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch brushes and we're gonna go into the yellow with the brand new brush. Okay, so let's put some yellow up here. Let's put some yellow over here. Now this paint underneath it is wet, so it's going to kind of smear my blue a little bit, but that's okay. We're just having fun. It's so freeing when you just go in with really no plan and you just have fun. Cut loose on the canvas. Let's put a little yellow down here. We could use a little light and bright right down in that corner. And some light and bright right down here. And I think a little light and bright somewhere up here would be good too. And even up here. Streak some in over by this. And again, I'm going to kind of connect some of these yellow areas with each other. And I'm going to let the yellow come over into this area. And I'm going to really kind of thicken that yellow up over here a little bit. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go into my coral color now. I am going to rinse this brush and hope that it's not too wet. All right, coral color. Let's see, where do I want to put some of this beautiful coral color? There's some. Let's put some in and on the yellow too. I'm going to come down here. And let's bring some down here. I'm going to get some up in this area and even on this side here. And I'm kind of thinking I want a little bit of this coral over here. Get it on the side. I'm going to just kind of take these brush strokes in and across. Maybe I'll even let this coral connect up here. And you can see how when I paint the coral color on the dark blue, this is a thin acrylic paint, so it doesn't cover very well, which is why this is just a background. Those thicker paints, the heavy bodied paints in the tubes, they cover a lot better. Okay, I think I might even bring just a little coral way down here in a couple of spots on the sides too. And just bring that across. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to go back to my water, rinse a little, because I'm going to go back to my blues. Okay, let's get some of this dark blue, and let's come back in here and really just darken this up. I don't know why, I just kind of feel like I want to darken some of this area up. Okay, let's darken up some of this area. And maybe some right here. A little bit right there. Again, just kind of going wherever it seems like it's kind of empty or it needs a little something. I'm going to go into my light blue now. I'm going to come right over here and just put a nice little bit of that beautiful light blue right up against that yellow. See how I like that? It's okay. I think there was a better contrast with the darker blue against the yellow, honestly. But let's see how the light blue looks down here next to that green. So we're taking that light blue right up into that green area. And I'm even going to put a little bit of that light blue down here. put some light blue over here. Kind of let it come into that coral color. Okay, I'm going to go back into the dark, and I kind of liked this dark blue right up next to that yellow. And that light blue is so wet that it's just turning into a different color. Oh dear. Yeah, I have to let that dry. Otherwise it's not going to show up as turquoise. So I'm going to let that dry. Wipe off a little bit of paint, rinse my brush a little bit here, because I kind of want to go back into the green. And let's see, our nice dark green. Let's come back in here. That was a really watery area because I sprayed it. So that's kind of not taking too well to the canvas. We can go up here. I'm going to darken this area up here a little bit. And down here, let's darken this area. And down here where the drips went, I'm going to darken that a little bit. And I'm kind of letting that green go into other areas too. Yeah, this area up here is so wet. That's gotta wait, that's gotta dry. We could put a little bit of dark green, I think, right here. Just kind of stripe it in here. And then I'm just gonna go into my light lime green again. Or I don't know if I used the lime green yet, honestly. Just coming in a few areas and putting a little hint of it here and there. That bright green kind of will show up against that dark blue. Gonna let it kind of blend up in here. Let's see, how about we strengthen that by making it a little thicker. And same thing up here. I think I'm gonna brush stroke down and make a different shape. Make a little different shape right here. Now I'm kind of starting to have fun with shapes. Let's put a circle right here. And who knows, I may end up completely changing all of this later. Let's make this into a circle too. And I think we could use a circle right about here. Okay, now I might go back in and strengthen that yellow if I can. That yellow's kind of dimming a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can squeeze some of this water out and then get that yellow. Let's get that yellow kind of moved around again. And we'll strengthen that yellow up here. And I'm kind of strengthening it down here. Brightening it maybe is a better word. Alrighty. I ended up getting some coral on my brush, so that's gonna dim it. So I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. I'm gonna leave it alone. This has gotta dry now because it's just too wet, and if I wanna do anything to it, it'll smear. So I'm just gonna call it quits. And we shall see. I will show you in another video, or maybe a still shot, what I end up doing with this background. But it was just fun. It was very relaxing, very non-stressful, and you just can relax and let your brain go for a little while. And it's kind of meditative, and especially if you've had a good devotional that has a Bible verse that stands out to you and it's kind of on your mind when you're painting, that makes it even better. So the devotional that I had this morning was about the shepherd boy David going up against Goliath. And when Goliath came out, he was taunting God. He was taunting God of Israel, and he was mocking Israel, and he was mocking David. He was telling David he was going to just kill him and feed him to the birds. And David came out and said, you come to me with you come to me with a spear, a sword, and a javelin. But I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the Lord of the armies of Israel. And then David said, I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to sever your head, and you and all your Philistine army that came up against Israel to mock God, you're going to just see. God's going to do it. And sure enough, God did it with David's little sling and 5 stones. Actually, it just took 1 stone and hit Goliath smack in the forehead. And it was all because David had a strong relationship with God, and David stood up to the Philistine that was taunting God, and God empowered David. So if you're facing something really big and scary, say to that thing, I come to you with the Lord of hosts. All right, that's my encouragement. We'll let this dry and we'll see what happens. Take care, everybody.